Hello, this is Mel. Today's project, I've been working on this sawmill I picked up. It's a Wood-Mizer LT-40, the non-hydraulic version. I paid $6,000 for it, and it was in pieces pretty much. The engine was off of it. The guy hadn't used it in a long time, and he actually took the engine off to put it on some stump grinder he had, which happened to have the same motor as this sawmill did. So he switched out the motors because the engine had a bad cylinder head on it. Now I've already repaired the engine and put a new cylinder head on it, new push rods, and relapsed the valves, and got the engine running. We had this actually mocked up, but I tore it back apart the way it was because I wanted to paint it. And so we've got all the panels off of it. I ordered several new panels that were missing or just rusted out, and now I'm troubleshooting some of the electrical. We got all the electrical working, all except for the forward and reverser, the thing that makes it go forward and cut. It will reverse and come back to you, but it wouldn't go through the cutting stage where you have the variable speed. That engine wouldn't work, and he had that engine or that motor disconnected and the bolts out of it and everything. He thought the motor was bad, but it's not the motor. The motor's actually good. I just checked it with some voltage directly to it, and it goes both directions if you change the polarity in it. So it had to be something with the speed controller. I ordered some new parts from Wood-Mizer, and they got it out to me, but we're going to repaint it, and I've removed all the legs on it and stuff, and this is the pile of parts that I pulled off it so far, besides the engine. That is the debarker. The debarker motor was bad on it, so I found a new debarker motor, and I didn't get that from Wood-Mizer. I just found one on eBay. It was the same brand, and it was quite a bit less expensive. So the only difference was on it was the shaft size was 5/8 instead of 7/8. So I had to order a special collar for it. But anyways, that is running and everything now. I mean, when I had it on, but anyways, I was gonna look at today on this project. I was gonna do the several videos probably on this Wood-Mizer as we're repainting it and putting on the new panels and everything, and reinstalling the engine. And see, it was pretty rusted out. This panel right here, you can kind of tell right there with the remnants of that panel, it's all rusted out. And the wires were all hacked up when he took it apart. The guy originally cut the wires all off of it. But this little motor here works. That's the one that makes the blade width change. That worked. And I got a new speed controller here for it because the guy up at the Wood-Mizer place said that's what he thought it was if I tested some wire in here, which is apparently that blue wire right there is a 12 volt positive, and if you touch that to the other terminal, the ground terminal over there, and if it comes on, apparently he says that means that the speed controller is bad. So I ordered a new speed controller, which was, I think that thing was 140 bucks or something like that. It wasn't super cheap. And I got a new battery panel cover and just a new belts, a bunch of stuff for it. It's all up there on the shelf up here. It's all up in here. I got a couple new panels and some of the older panels. Some of the older panels were in really bad shape. I mean, like that one was fixable there. That's the battery cover one. But there's another one up there that's pretty rusted out. It's because the battery was leaking on it, and so I got some new ones. It just wasn't, I mean, they were pretty cheap. These guys made these special for me. I think I paid like either between $35 and $65 for a panel, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty inexpensive. But anyways, we're going to get started on this repair right here, on the speed controller repair. We're just going to do a test on it real quick. So let me hook up the battery so we can test it. It's got the negative here. There you go, that'll do. I won't tighten it down or nothing. I'm just going to stick it on there for a few minutes. So, here real quick. So we're going to test it now. Try to get you a view in there. So we're going to hook up this tester right here to that one bolt. That's kind of to that ground thing in there. And then it's supposed to touch this blue wire right here. And when I turn the key forward, so I'm going to turn the key on, and then I'm going to be careful, and I'm going to turn the forward thing over here on, and now this power should be on. I don't know if I can get in there or not. See the red light come on right there? So apparently that means that this speed controller right here is bad. And there's my new one. So we're going to go ahead and try to switch this over. I'll probably just tell you what I'm doing because it's kind of hard to let you see everything. I'm going to turn the power off. Going to disconnect the battery. I'm going to get my couple tools here. Need a 10mm long extension socket, 1/4" nut drive. There's two little 1/4" screws back behind here holding the variable speed motor or variable speed controller on there. Screw loose there. Bolt. 10mm long extension. Going for that first terminal right there. A washer and a little nut for it. So there are two black wires going that we need to pull off of here from the old one for this first ground. It says ground right there up on the firewall though, so these are the grounds. Then I got those two pulled off. One is right here and one is right there, and then I got the little blue wire. So I'm just going to leave the other half connected. I will go ahead and disconnect these three wires here. This is a purple wire, a brown wire, and a red wire. And now it's pretty much all the way out except for the other two wires, which is a green and a red wire, going over to the positive side. So I'm just going to hook this side back up before I finish pulling it out, so I don't miss anything. But putting the two black wires back on the grounds, putting my washer and lock nut on there, tighten that down good. I got so I got here's the red and the green that goes over to the other side. I'm going to go ahead and plug in the blue wire that plugs in right here on the side, which you could easily seen when you took it out, which I got to move the bolt here. I actually got one of these wires in my way. Loosen that for a second. Here we go. Let me plug in the blue. There it is. Slide that back down. I'm going to go ahead and plug in these 3 wires. I'm going to go ahead and mount this little box back up on here. Kind of cramped in here, ain't it? Let's see here. Break that little screw off of there. It's stuck on there. The up here players, this one down are a little. Actually, is that a 10 mil? No, that looks like about a 3/8 or some weird size. Anyways, let's finish hooking this up. Black. So it looks like I need some zip tie cutters. Cut these little zip ties loose, holding this black or this red and this green wire. I think that green wire is right there. Here's the green wire. It looks like the red wire is still going. Where the heck is that at? Oh, it's up in here. Okay. Alright, so looks like that one red wire is going up in here, which they got like this sleeve thing on it. Just kind of over it. This one. Okay, there's the old one. Looks perfectly fine to me, but I don't know. Up. Put this blue one on here. put a couple. Okay, looks all good. Actually, that's an 11 millimeter, not a 10. Okay. Now this was just like this, just kind of loose in here when I got this machine. I'm not really sure why it's like that. Just thinking about drilling a hole in this panel right here and putting it like that and tighten down the nut to hold it so it don't come in contact with anything. So let me do that real quick. See what kind of hole I need. Okay. Finish tightening up my nuts here. Hook back up the battery. And power. Hey, it worked. Ha-ha! Works. Yep, definitely working now. You hear it? He said that the this gizmo up in here, let me see if I can get a shot of it. See, before mine was putting out lights when I turned it on. It would say one of those on there says overload or whatever, OV. OV means overload. And that one would come on. And see how it says out, the light is on out. And then on the in one is the other light. Those didn't come on before. So anyways, it's all fixed. Guess I'll just snug up a few of these wires right here. Clean them up a bit because that was a mess. When I opened this thing up, it was a disaster. So, try to kind of clean these up a little bit somehow. So so these wires don't come in contact with those tumblers in there. Those big tumbler switches in there. It look like these wires easily have been caught up in them. Hit it. This box could have easily been another 2 inches this way. Reaching inside there, you can kind of push them around and see what you're doing before you close it up, so you don't make a big mistake. Hey. What's up, Chris? See my crazy dog out there?
Yeah, what's the name again?
Tycho.
Tycho.
See ya. Look at that, only 680 hours on this machine. And look at the condition of it, man. Some people just don't take care of their stuff too well. Well, that's good for me because I picked it up for $6,000. And if you ask me, that was a really good price, even with a blown engine on it. And it needs repainting. And I'm going to add some hydraulics to it too. And so, see how this machine turns out here. In the next couple of weeks, I'm going to have it done. Just making sure these wires aren't touching. I know the 70 is upside down there, but that'll be different than this. Okay, and then that's how you replace the variable speed module on an LT40 machine, which is probably the same for all of them. So anyways, that's going to be an end of this video, but all the electronics are working on this now. I've tested everything. So we're ready to, I still have to remove the motor that we were just testing out because some of the bolt holes in it are stripped out, so it won't tighten up right, because when the guy was taking it off, he must have had some trouble with it or something. Anyway, so we're going to put some time certs in them, and it's kind of like a fancy thread thing there. They're called time cert, S-E-R-T, and check them out on eBay. They work really good. They're better than the coil kind. Anyways, then we're going to get painting on this thing and get it sanded up next week. So anyways, stay tuned. Thank you for watching.